It's like a patented entrance at this point. Welcome back, Sunday night chat. I wanted to get this out to you guys. I just got back. Brutal drive back from Pahrump, Nevada. I went out there to deliver the table. We're going to talk about that and the trip and what I did, people I met, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of really cool people. But we got to talk about the obvious, this attempted assassination on President Donald Trump. So, what the hell, man? First of all, I want to say I had posted a video yesterday morning of a chat I did with Matt, who owns the Low Side Cigar Lounge in Pahrump, Nevada. Cool cat. And I know that the audio wasn't good there. I don't have mics. You know, we did a little impromptu interview the day before. A lot of you saw that video. He had such a good time. He's like, come back tomorrow morning, we'll do it again. But the place isn't conducive to it, really. There's just too much chatter going on. I was aware of it. I did watch it on my phone first, and I could make out the conversation, so I decided to post it. It was a 50-50 thing for me. I know it's not for everybody. Some people are, like, insulted by it. Sorry. But it was a fun chat. That's the sort of thing I'd like to do more of, but obviously without the ambient noise, so you can actually hear it well. I just want to be able to sit down with somebody that's interesting, that I can just have a normal conversation with, that can go in any direction. Just hanging out, talking. And men and women alike. It'd be fun to have some women on, to be honest with you, because the woman thing has been a thing lately. This running theme. And I don't know if I'll get into that in this video, but let's just get to this. So yesterday, I posted that video, and then there were services for Patricia's husband. So Patricia's the lady who hired me to build the table. If you don't know the story, back in April, there was a fundraiser in Tacoma for the fire department, and it was that plus a meet and greet for Wonder Hussy, and there was going to be some other YouTubers there, so Ross the Miner, and I think it's Traveling Jeepsy, I think is her name, and Sarah asked me if I'd like to come out and be part of that. It was my first time doing something like that. It was interesting, it was positive, but it was a little weird for me, a little much. I don't know that I'll be doing something like that again. Who knows? Who knows? It was just a little weird, but it was good. And a lot of good things came of it. One of the things that came of it was that Patricia and her husband, George, came to meet me. Patricia was a fan of my channel. And that was awesome. Really, really nice people. But then, sadly, George kicked the bucket soon after that. So after he died, Patricia was going through a lot of stuff, and there's a whole lot of personal stuff in this situation that is like, what? This happened? This was going on? What the hell? Crazy. But then she also wanted to have this table done. So that's how this whole thing happened, and that's why I was out there. And yesterday was the services for George. So a bunch of people showed up, his friends, people flew in, people came in from all over the place. They had a really nice thing going. They had Patricia's friend Mary sang, and we had this guy Tony Tone. This guy moved to Pahrump 2 years ago. A really good musician, and so they did their thing. After the services, he was playing some Sly and the Family Stone. It was awesome. And during the services, there was cops there, you know, in civilian clothes, who were part of when George kicked the bucket that day. These guys came in, and now they've become friends with Patricia. So they were there for the event, and there was chatter going on off to the side. I didn't know what was going on, and then one of the guys went over, was talking to somebody closer to me, and I was overhearing that Trump was just shot. And this was like, boom, right when it's happening, but we didn't have any knowledge of it. I had already posted the video of Matt and I talking at the cigar lounge. So, yeah. So at the end of the services, I went outside and got on my phone and kind of watched a couple videos real quick. I found out he was alive, and what a badass Trump is. Holy Toledo. I mean, getting up and telling you to fight, keep fighting, because, you know, he's there fighting for us. I mean, this is a crazy thing. they've been trying to take him down from the moment he announced he was going to run for president in, what was that, 2016? 2015, really, probably, he was talking about it. So, and all the fake nonsense, all the stuff that so many people still believe, and even if they know that it's not true anymore, their visceral emotional reaction to Trump has been programmed and ingrained in them so strongly by all the lies and the media, the left, everything else, that they still, many of these people still dislike him based on lies that were programmed into them, and they can't get past it. Trump derangement syndrome, it's a clinical sickness at this point. I'm not making that up. I think it's going to be in the medical journals at some point. It's crazy, and if you're one of those people, you're crazy. And it's to the point now where, the media kept convincing these people that he was going to get taken down, and he was going to go to prison for life, and he was going to lose all his businesses and everything else. So naturally, they were comparing him to Hitler and everything else. Of course there was going to be an attempt on his life. That's what they were trying to do. They were hoping that some nut job would go out and try to kill him because of all the programming from the last 8 years of these lying bastards trying to convince unstable people that he's evil. So if you kill evil, you're the good guy. You're the hero. That's what they did. That's what they did. And the people who died in this event yesterday, their blood is on the hands of the media that programmed the mind of this moron to do that. I'm saying it. That's what it is. That's the truth. That's just the way it is. There's no other way to see that. If you see it some other way, you've got issues. And if you're one of those people who is upset that Trump's still alive after that, and you're watching this channel and you're a subscriber to this channel, please unsubscribe to this channel. I don't want you here. Don't want you here. If you had $1 million and you offered it to me to build you a table, and you're one of those people who wish Trump died, I wouldn't take the money and I wouldn't do the project. That's how serious I am about this. You're a crazy person. I don't wish Biden to get shot. I don't wish Obama to get shot. I don't wish any of that. I do, however, think if they succeed, if some nut job takes Trump out, then I look at it as gloves off, man. Okay. I actually will support some sort of civil war breaking out. It wouldn't be a civil war. But if you're going to start taking people out, let's see how they like it. I'm not suggesting you do that. I'm not saying I would do it. I'm not going to do it. But if it started popping off, I will 100% participate. I'm just saying. Ready. I was just in Pahrump, Nevada. Everybody there, pretty much, all the dudes I saw are wearing guns on their hips. People walking around with shoulder holsters. Everybody is armed. Everyone has a freaking gun on them. It was even at the services, all the men had guns on them or in their pockets. Everybody looked. People have handguns. It's just wild, man. It's probably one of the safest towns in the country. It's pretty crazy. And a lot of the cops are there, and everybody's walking around. Everybody's armed. Everybody knows about it. It's like, I don't know. It's like the Wild West, in 1873. That's what it seems like. But that's cool. Now, getting to the incident itself, I watched it. Then I started watching coverage of it. I started looking at the overview of the situation, where the stage was, what that building was behind him, this other building where the shooter was, which was less than 200 yards away. And for those of you that don't know, if this is your first time here, I was a security force Marine back in the 80s. So I have this mindset of, if you're going to ask me, say, hey, Mike, we're going to have President Trump speak at this location. What do you think we should do? Well, one of the things I'm going to look at right away is all the high points that have a direct line of sight to that stage within 1,000 meters. And every one of those high points is going to have a Secret Service agent or local police on it. Very simple. Not hard to do. Easy thing to make happen. They didn't do that. Turns out, from what I've seen, the reporting I've watched, there's some crazy details coming out. I could be wrong about a lot of this. This is preliminary. This is the problem about people making all these judgments and saying this and showing you that, because we don't know what the truth is. We will as it unfolds over the next several days. But I think everything I've seen so far is pretty accurate. A lot of people in the crowd saw this guy put a ladder up against the building, climb up on the building with a rifle, and they were screaming for police to go check this guy out. Just before I started this video, I saw a video where it's, I don't remember what news station it was. It was independent news on happened to be on YouTube. I follow a lot of different independent media, and they were reporting that a local police officer climbed the ladder, went on the roof, confronted the guy, and the guy pointed his rifle at the cop, and the cop retreated, which gave the guy enough time to start taking shots at Trump. Now, if that's true, that cop's got to lose his job, because he should have been up there like, this guy's got a gun. Okay, retreat, fine, but pull your weapon and make some noise with it or something. Hit the deck, shoot that motherfucker, something. I mean, what the hell? That's insane. The fact that they didn't have security on that roof that was so close to them, that is a failure, and I don't see how they make that. I don't. And I hate to jump to all these conclusions, but another thing that really aggravated me, and I was asked this weekend, do I like women or just like having sex with them? I like women fine. But this thing that we're in right now, where we're supposed to accept this false narrative, the lie, that a woman or any woman could do the same exact job as good as a man when it comes to stuff like this, is bullshit. We got to stop doing it. Because it was weird to me that I saw this tiny little lady, Secret Service agent, on stage, coming up to like Trump's chest. Like, what is she going to do? The only reason she can have that job is because she's supported by 6 or 8 other big giant dudes that would pull her weight. She's the weak link in that situation. I'm just saying, that is crazy to me. But when I see that, it's easy for me to understand how they didn't put security over there, because people aren't thinking the job out. They're overly concerned about other things that have nothing to do with the job. This DEI crap, diversity, equity, inclusion, bullshit. It's going through the military. We're losing officers and NCOs that are badass people that can do their jobs, are walking away from the job, and those jobs are being filled now with people with this mindset of, we need more people of color, and we need more women in these jobs, and we need more gay people in the military. I don't have anything against any of those people, but making that a priority because it fits into some category that makes crazy people who are in these positions feel good. Why are we placating crazy? Why are we placating insane people? What is going on? It's crazy town. We're falling apart. This country's falling apart. The Boy Scouts can't be the Boy Scouts. We have to include girls in the Boy Scouts. Can we stop with this, please? Please? It's insane. 1 inch over, Trump would have been dead. Thank God he's alive, but people died yesterday there on that stage with this crazy bastard. Turns out he's 20 years old. They say he's a registered Republican. He apparently donated money to some obscure Democratic thing. I don't know all the details of it, but these seem to be. I saw what the guy looked like. There was a little video of him from some of his social media or something. He did look like a kooky dude. I mean, you want to go judge him by the cover. Every guy looks that goofy, you know. I mean, look at me. I'm pretty goofy looking. I wouldn't want anybody coming over to my pad and checking it out. But I'm not dangerous. I'm not going to go out and assassinate anybody or try to assassinate anybody. It's crazy. And yeah, I posted the video yesterday, and I had a couple comments, I believe. I know I had at least one comment there where the guy's like, I can't believe you posted this with everything that's going on. And actually, I think he said, you in wonder. I was like, don't you know what's going on? Like, I don't know what she posted, if she did post something yesterday, but that's probably something that she edited and shot over the last week and put it out at a certain time. And I did a short to address that where I said, I've said this to you guys before, don't have a turban on my head, don't have a jewel on my forehead, I cannot foresee the future. How the hell am I supposed to know that that was going to happen? You guys who watch not just my channel, but all YouTube, please look at the date and the time that things are posted. So let's separate ourselves from the Trump assassination attempt yesterday and just, I've said this before with the Astro van stuff. Like I have these videos where I'm doing something on the van, and people will type suggestions that I should do right then and there. Well, when you're watching the video, it's already done, man. Your advice doesn't help me. It's already done. Like, yeah, you have to understand how things work. Like, it's not happening in real time as you're actually watching it, you know. And I'm not a celebrity. There's nothing special about me, man. Nothing. Well, I mean, if you saw me naked, maybe. No, just kidding. A little joke there. Got to pep in a little humor here. I'm just saying, like, smarten up a little bit, please. It's a little much sometimes. Anyhow, I had to put all that out there. Huge failure of security yesterday, and which you could get paranoid, I suppose. You could look at that like, because it's such a bad job at security. So bad. It's such a bad, they let it happen, basically. Right? Now, so if you say it like that, you could make a case that it was done on purpose. That's a mistake that absolutely should not have happened. 100% preventable, yesterday's events. 100% preventable. I forgot to look at the watch before I started again. I'm wearing the Seiko bottle cap today. I haven't worn this in a long time, actually. On a store-bought Boon band here. I got to make a better strap for that. So, 100% avoidable. So you have to ask yourself, and that's why I said the other things I said. It would be hard for me to accept and believe that it was purposefully done to not have security on that roof. But there's another point too. From what I understand, this could be wrong, but I don't know if they were Secret Service. They were reported Secret Service snipers, took the guy out. And apparently they had the guy in their sights and they allowed him to shoot before they shot him. Now, that's almost like the bullshit that was happening when Obama was president and his rules of engagement that were going on in Iraq and Afghanistan, where we couldn't shoot anybody unless they were shooting at us first. It's a war. War. Military-age man, which is anywhere from really like 15 to 90, with a weapon, kill him. Period. You don't wait for him to shoot at you first. That's how you do a war. All right? Waiting for them to shoot at you first. This is not the street. This isn't, Marcus of Queensberry rules. If I'm getting in a street fight with somebody, I'm going to tell you a little technique I learned. I don't even know where I learned it, but I've been doing this since I was in single digits as a little kid. Somebody get in my face and piss me off, I would step to them, step right on their toe, grab them by the throat, push them over, land right on top of them, and beat their head into the ground. I was doing that when I was very, very little, and I don't know where that came from. It was just innate in me to do that. That was the move. Boom. It's a scary thing. I messed some people up doing that as a little kid. It was a real problem. My dad had to have a talk with me about that. But I'm saying to you, that's how you deal with it. In real life, dangerous situation, boom, 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 it's over as quickly as possible. It's not, okay, put up your dukes. That's the sort of thing that happens in a schoolyard or between friends, or there's people around and somebody steps in. They realize that two guys have to fight it out, because afterwards they're going to be best friends, all that shit. In real life, in a dangerous situation with a thug on the street or a punk on the street or a criminal on the street, and somebody's, you're scared for your life, without question, without hesitation, yes, you have to risk taking that guy's life to save your life or your loved ones or the people around you. period. So, this is all going to come out. If it's true that a police officer went on the roof and confronted a guy, the shooter, and the shooter pointed his rifle at him and he retreated, at the same time, there's snipers on the roof, apparently, we're being told, from what I saw, Secret Service snipers, they would have saw that. So if I'm a Secret Service sniper, and if it's true, the cop went up and this guy pointed his rifle at him, the guy went down and this guy got in prone and started taking shots at Trump. As soon as that cop went up to him and this guy pointed the rifle at him, that Secret Service agent should have shot him. Now, the only reason you wouldn't do that, and maybe they're trained this way, is what if it's not a real gun? Right? What if it's a toy gun and the guy's doing it on purpose just to get attention or something? Now, if that's what it is, you shoot him anyhow. Because you don't know it's a toy gun and you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. That's how I would train my guys. Looks like a real thing. He's pointing at people. Boom, he's getting in front. Take that motherfucker out before he starts shooting innocent people, unsuspecting people. This is not a war. That's an assassin who deserves to die as quickly as possible. And they took him out. So that's a very strange, bizarre thing that happened yesterday, and I'm really pissed off about it. I know there's a lot of people here that wanted to hear my opinion on that, because I got a couple notes about it. So there you go. That's what I think. Now, let's jump to something happier. So, man, I drove out there Thursday to Pahrump, Nevada. 120 degrees out there. We'll jump to the Astrovan real quick, because I have to say, I said something in another video from the camping trip, and I get a little grief from people. The speed limit's only 65 miles an hour. Why are you doing 83 miles an hour? Shut up. Shut up with this nonsense. Because I felt like it. That's why. This is everybody's doing 80 to 100 miles an hour out here, man. In the fast lane. It's just it's a convoluted thing. By the way, usually I go that fast just to make a pass, to make a move, and then I slow it down. But I'm testing the van all the time, right? So it's got a new transmission. It's got new axles. It's got new gears. It's got a new computer. All the sensors have been replaced. There's all these things going on, and I'm pushing it. And here's the thing. Your computer in the van is always readjusting to your driving habits. And so this last trip coming home, it was amazing. Going out there was pretty amazing, too. When I first put the new computer in and I had the 32-inch tires and everything was dialed and I had it all synced with the computer at the guy's shop, humming, man, purring like a kitten, running like a top. It felt, now at the time I needed new shocks. I have already replaced those front shocks, but it felt like when I first drove it that I lost some top end, and people were telling me, well, that's common. You put the bigger tires on it. You can't expect to be driving 85 miles an hour anymore. Like, it felt like my top was like 80 or a little bit less. Well, something has happened. I replaced the shocks, and with the long distance driving I've been doing, this thing, I can tell. It's awesome. I can be doing, I actually hit like 90 at one point today for a while, a couple miles just to see. I'm just testing it. And I'm doing it safely. I'm not doing that in the city or when give me some credit, will you please? Please think before you type. For the love of Pete, whoever the hell Pete is. Just think, please, before you hit me with just think about it first. I'm not stupid. That you're going to say, yes, you are, because you're going that fast. So just get the hell out of here with that nonsense, all right? I'm still here. I've been doing this shit for a long fucking time. It's just aggravating. Don't tell me what to do, what I need to be doing. I'm friggin' doing it. I'm going to do it. That's the way it is. Stop already. I get aggravated with some of you people. You know who you are. So, testing it. But I'm telling you, my RPMs are just sitting there. I don't have an RPM gauge, but I can tell. You should be able to tell this by, you've been doing it as long as I have. it's just humming along. I'm not winding that thing out at all. It's just cruising. I'm just finding that right gear with the throttle position. It's just flying nicely. I'm not even caring about my fuel economy anymore. I know I'm doing pretty good. I can get all the way to Prump really on the whole tank from here to there. 4.5 hours driving, whatever it is, 300 and something miles, and I still have gas in it. I gas up anyhow at Baker just to be on the safe side. But anyhow, it's fine at speed. And on the way home today, a lot of it was like 68 to 86, you know, and a lot of it was in the 80s. Just there were some interesting sections where I had no choice. I was just got caught in a line, and people are flying just so I can get past trucks or whatever. Then I'd slow down a little bit, but no problems. And on grades, no problem. I was testing it on purpose. I don't make that point to you guys enough. I'm just testing it out. When I tell you I'm doing these speeds, again, it's not the whole time. So I'm doing tests. I want to know what the thing can handle. And I think about it, like, am I going to blow a radiator hose or something? Like, I want to know. If it happens, I'll figure it out. But plenty of times today going up grades where I was just barely touching that pedal to get it to drop, kick back another gear, go back up. I was doing 83, 85, 86 miles an hour up a grade calmly, just humming along. Not anything like that. I wasn't having that thing where, like, sometimes if you push the pedal to a certain distance, it drops down and it winds out because you're dropping down in the third. And then boom, boom. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just finding that gear, and it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. So I'm very happy with the way the truck is performing. So you know about that now. Got to Patricia's house Thursday. Got the table out of the truck, set up the base. It was funny. Somebody made a comment. I don't remember if it was on one of the table videos when I was making it. I think it was. Where he noticed that I was designing things like fail-safes into the design in case something didn't go right. And the gist of it was, like, he understands because I've been doing this for 37 years. Like, I've seen these things happen. So because I've done it for so long and done these things so many times, I know what could go wrong. So when I'm building a piece, I design into it the ability to adjust things when I go to put it together at the client's house. I remember making comments. I'm like, this is working great here, but I'll bet you when I get to the client's house, there's going to be a problem. And it happened. If you guys remember the beam for the trestle base, I put a nut inside the beam, and I put 2 plugs that stood proud that are holding the nut in place. And when I went to put, one side went in fine, the other side, it just was kind of cross-threading a little bit on that nut, and it started spinning the nut, which pushed the plug out, and so that was free spinning, and it was a friggin' nightmare. And it was 120 degrees, and this is on her back porch, so there's not air conditioning or anything. She had a fan on, but it friggin' sucked, man. Friggin' sucked. So I pulled the little plug. I got a magnet out of my micro tool kit that I use all the time. Like, that video's got, I think that video might have 10,000 views on it. Maybe not that many, but that's crazy. Got the magnet out, and I aligned that perfect, and I held it there, and I got the bolt in, and eyeballed it, and everything got in there good. And then I put the plug back in, and but that took like 20 minutes, and it was frustrating, and it was hot, and I wasn't happy about it. But it was fine. Everything went together fine. It's rock solid. They're having a big barbecue at the house today. I hope that everybody's enjoying it. I'm pretty certain they're going to be impressed. It's funny. I knew this might happen. My finish I did a wipe-on polyurethane, put plenty of finish on it. And then I did my paste wax and buffed it, which gives you this uneven thing on purpose. And it's just so hot there that the wax isn't hardening up enough. So you can just keep going like this, and it'll leave little, almost like a smudge kind of thing, but I think it's kind of cool. I don't know. I hope that the people looking at it today, I met a guy, Mike, he was wearing a kilt, and I'm pretty certain he had like a Kimber 1911. It looked like a 45 ACP on his hip, in a kilt, hanging out the cigar joint, cigar lounge, low side cigar lounge. And we were talking last night. Turns out he's a woodworker. I'm sure his shop's way nicer than mine. Really cool guy. He was talking about it. He said looked at some of my stuff and he was impressed. He's going to see the table today. And I told him he's the guy. Like, it's people like him that why I do what I do the way I do it. It's for those people. If you are a woodworker and you look at something I've built, you are going to appreciate it on a whole other level compared to the client. The only thing I would say is, and I kept reiterating this when I was making it, excuse me, that table was designed to look like something that could have been made 200 years ago, and it's just been refinished. Like, I built in wear on purpose without going over the top. It's pretty clean. It's probably cleaner than it should be. But, and keep in mind, I had to work within a budget that was pretty tight. You guys might remember, I got a deal on the glue up for the top, which was not a great deal because I ended up putting way more time into that than I wanted to make it work. I did the video when breadboard edges become an engineering necessity to flatten that top out because it was doing a little bit of this. And I got it pretty good. It's nice. When I sat it in, I think I mentioned in the video the other day, it was doing this because her floor's out of whack. So I just folded up some stuff and put a little wedge under one of the feet on the table, locked it down perfect. So I hope that when they look at it and they see the Dutchman patches and they see the splits and the voids I left and the hole that I left that she wanted and the butterfly mortars and the way I did it all, I hope that they can appreciate it as an art form, because that's what that is. That table is a work of art designed to be what that is. It was intentionally designed to look that way. I hope they appreciate that. So, and I want to hear the feedback on it. But, so that all worked out great. And then I was staying at the Pahrump Nugget. Patricia, had me go in there. It's very affordable. They also have a veteran discount. It's under $100 a night. It's in a casino. No hot water. It was something I never even thought to bring up to anybody until this morning, which I didn't anyhow. But so crazy. Because it was anywhere from 114 to 120 degrees while I was there, the short walk of 30 yards from the vehicle to the getting into the casino hotel, you're warm. So if you take a shower, it's cold, it's fine. But when you wake up in the morning and the room is at 70 degrees and you take a cold shower, that's not the greatest. I didn't even think to say anything. I could have walked up to the desk and been like, where the hell's the water? No hot, that's crazy. No hot water, but pretty decent room. No problems there. I asked the people not to go and clean it while I was there, and everything worked out fine. Didn't lose anything, and that's an affordable place to stay in town if you're going there. Now, I got to talk about the people at the Low Side Cigar Lounge. Matt, his wife, all the regulars in there. What a wonderful group of human beings. I mean, it's, you get to know somebody a little bit. People come in. I was walking in and people had heard that I was there and they heard enough about me and they knew about the table already. And so it was like, oh, hey, you, boom, boom, boom. It was nice. It's a little much for me. I know it's hard to believe because I do this YouTube thing. I don't want to be the center of attention. When you see me in a group of people, if you were watching from the side and you were observing me, you're going to see me being confident, talking to people, but I'm not trying to be the guy in the room. Don't want to be that guy. Don't want that. Don't need it. Don't care. But when I'm engaging with people, I'm not shy. I'm having a conversation with bros, man. And a lot of the guys were veterans. That was super cool. Of course, I always mention I did not do my full 4 years. I don't ever prop myself up to be anything I'm not. Very honest guy. But it's great. So those guys were great. And the really cool thing was a couple guys. So there's this doc, I think his name's Chris. He's a chiropractor in town. Everybody was talking about him. I got to meet him. He's got this handlebar mustache. Maybe I'll insert a picture at the end of the video. I think I took a picture with him and a couple of the other fellows out in front of the joint last night. Really great guy. Super fit dude. He's like, I think he's 67. I think he's got 10 years on me, and he just had a pacemaker put in 6 weeks ago. You'd be hard pressed to see it. He does jujitsu. He works out. He's a super fit guy. Bald head with a handlebar mustache. I told him, you just got to get you a top hat and a monocle. You can be like the guy from the Monopoly game. Great attitude. He did talk about it a lot. You can just tell it was, he could have died. It was, I think he did die. He actually did flatline. They helicoptered him into Vegas. Crazy story. Great guy. But he's retiring from the gig, and so everybody's kind of disappointed because he was such a good chiropractor. And this guy, Jacob Bennell, comedian, they had been telling me about him the whole time I was there because Patricia knew. I had told Matt, I said, and I've told you guys, I really want to get up and do some stand-up comedy at some point. It's not about wanting to think I could be rich and famous or anything like that. Don't give a shit about that. It's just a bucket list thing. It's a thing that I always wanted to do. Been talking about it for a long time. I'm going to make it happen. But I've been playing it in my mind about, a lot of different ideas about it. I've been studying comedy since I was a kid, but I knew I needed to sit down with an actual comic who's working at it, getting up, doing gigs, and just hash it out and see if what I'm saying makes sense. Because if I would have sat down with this guy and he would have said, dude, I'm hearing everything you're saying, I'm just telling you, stick to your day job, I would have been like, oh, okay, I've just been delusional, that's fine, thank you. That's kind of what I was looking for. But no, it actually went really well, and he understood. I was giving him some of my ideas, which is kind of scary, I suppose. But no, he was super cool. We cracked each other up and just talked about it. Jacob, you're super cool, bro. And like I said, if you come into LA and you're going to do a gig here, you can crash on the sofa. The day bed. It's very comfy. And Jacob was in the Air Force, retired out at 20 years. I think he's only like 38 years old or something. It's just so crazy. I'm old enough to be the father of these dudes, man. And they got their lives way more together than mine. It's the craziest thing. Like, it's weird. I'm like younger than they are as far as the way my mind works and what I'm doing with my life. It's bizarre. Bizarre to me. And there's a bit there too, if you think about it. So I talked to him for something like 4 hours or more, chilling, smoking cigars, having a good time. Great friggin' time. So if you're curious, yeah, I'm going back, man. I'm absolutely going to go back there, but not this time of friggin' year. I'm going to wait until, the fall. Things cool off. We'll set something up and go out there. Maybe we can get a bunch of the fellas together and go see Jacob do a gig or something. But I guess that's about it. I just wanted to say the trip, the table, everything went real well. Saturday night was kind of crazy. Patricia wanted to take me to dinner over in Vegas. She likes the Palms. There's a barbecue joint there. I don't remember the name. Maybe it's Molly's. I know it starts with an M. Moby's, Molly's, Maddie's, Monopoly. I don't freaking know what the hell the thing is called. But we went there for dinner, and service in the beginning wasn't good. I had to rope the guy over, gave him some compliments, made him feel good, told him we were starving, and then he was on it. And but there was a guy flying in that was George's friend from back in the old days, and his flight was delayed a couple hours, wasn't coming in until super late. I don't gamble. Patricia was on the slots, and I just went and sat at the bar at that barbecue joint and had a really nice time. Ended up having 4 pints of Guinness, 2 at dinner, 2 at the bar. Funny thing at the bar, I see this bartender, and he's got this huge watch on. It was a stainless steel watch with a stainless steel band. It was kind of moving around on his wrist. And I could tell it was a chronograph. It had subdials at just above 6 and just below 12. So it was vertical subdials. And it looked like it might be an Aragon or something because it was just a really big watch. I said, what is that? He says it was a Bulova. I was like, holy crap. I says, that an automatic? He said, yeah. And so we started talking. The more I talked to him about it, I realized he doesn't know what he's wearing. He didn't know. And so I explained to him what the buttons do and what a chronograph is for and how it works, how to set it, how to stop it, how to reset it. And he was really cool. Like, he was totally cool about it. He's like, dude, I bought the watch to establish credit. It's like almost $1,000 watch. So he bought it just so he could pay it off and establish credit. And we all did that, I think. I don't have any credit now. I have zero debt, no credit cards, none of that. I got rid of that a long time, in 2010. No more of that crap with me. I don't need that albatross around my neck. If I can't afford it, I don't fucking deserve it. That's the way I look at it. So, talk to him about that. Talk about the watch. You know, it's like kind of like, you know, you might want to like get yourself another one. Like I told him about Aragon. Get something, if you like that size, get something that's a workhorse that you can beat on and not worry about it, and preserve that watch. So that was cool. And then there was this little black girl working there. Her name's Taylor. Adorable. Totally adorable. Seriously looked like she was 16 years old. And I was cracking jokes on her about it. Like, what are you, on summer break from high school? Like, it was crazy. And she's got a 12-year-old daughter. She's showing me a picture. Like, holy crap. I'm not even sure she's 30. It was totally nuts, man. Really sweet. So, had a great time talking with them, and that was really, really nice. But we left Pahrump at 6:30 and didn't get back until 1:30 in the morning. So I was spent, man. That's a little much for me. And Patricia, bless her heart, she's such a sweetheart, nice lady. But man, she just doesn't stop. This is not about her either, but it brings up the woman thing, because that is a thing with me. And I've made this joke before. It's not even a joke. It's the truth. Many women I've dated just don't shut the fuck up. And so when we first start dating and they're like that, I will say to you, listen, honey, baby, darling, there's a whole bunch of women right now trying to cancel me for those words. Hot stuff. Hot pants. Because if you're with me, that's how I talk to you, and you love it. You love that shit. You know you love it. That's why you're here. So that's how I am. But anyhow, I will say, if there's going to be a quiz on any of the shit you're saying, I'm failing the fucking quiz, because I am not listening to you. I'm just letting you talk. Because you're talking about shit I don't give a crap about. Don't care. Don't care about what your friends are doing, or what your friends think, or what their relationships are like, or what's going on between them and their boyfriends, or them and their husbands, or them and their kids. Don't give a fuck. Don't know them. And if I get to know them, still don't care, because that's their personal shit. It's not only none of my business, it's none of your fucking business either. So, you know, if I'm going to be in a relationship with somebody, I want to talk about the things that revolve around our common interests, our backgrounds. Well, something comes up, you want to tell me a story, great. What's happening with the world, maybe current events, what we're thinking about, fucking ancient astronaut theory, you know, interesting shit. I need somebody with a brain who cares about shit like that makes sense. But just the incessant, just, you know, and women who do that too, they never listen to you. And if you, and I do this with my friend Kurgie all the time, and when I try to get a word in, and I point it out to her, like, hey, I'm just trying, but you do it to me, you cut me off. Well, you know what I do? I watch my watch. Like, you know, let's say you're hanging out with somebody for an hour. I don't say a friggin' word. It's been 25 minutes. Well, you know, I'm just trying to get a point. Well, you cut me off and do the same thing. Just so you know, I let you talk for 25 minutes straight before I interjected anything. This is like the girls that tell you they don't snore. You can't do that anymore with this. Kurgie and I had to share a room when I delivered the other table in Arizona a couple months ago. She says she doesn't snore. She's fucking snoring, man, like a sailor. You know what I did? I recorded her with the phone. And then in the morning, I said, you don't snore, huh? And I played the video for her. This is what you got to do with them. They're fucking delusional, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. I was watching some videos to entertain myself when I was in the hotel room. And there's a thing now where, I forget what the percentage is, but something like, I don't know. It's a high percentage. I don't know if it's 39 or 86%. I can't remember. Of men between the ages of whatever, 18 and 30, whatever it is, are choosing to be single. Because it's not worth it anymore to put up with the bullshit. Or, you know, there's a lot of reasons, right? And it's interesting to me because I do meet guys who say to me a lot, young guys, I want to be just like you. And I tell them that's not easy to do. You know, you better know how to take care of yourself. You better know how to work, pay your bills, do your own laundry, cook for yourself, and figure all that out and be able to be alone without being lonely and, you know, having a good quality life. That's not an easy thing to pull off. So, but when you look at a lot of, like the old adage, the good ones are taken, that's just the way it is, man. The good ones get snapped up, man. The good ones get, the really cool chicks that let you be yourself. Nothing's perfect. I'm just saying. They're taken. Matt, the owner of the Low Side Cigar Lounge, got a good one. Hands down, fucking quality broad right there. Cool. And hot. And he was saying in that video that he said his wife was like talking about it. She was kind of upset a little bit that he was saying that he was attracted to her physical appearance at first. But he made the point in that video yesterday. It was like, yeah, of course. That's what we have to be attracted to you physically. I think I mentioned this already. I don't mean to rehash it, but I got a comment. I think it was the video I did about why I'm single. It was a Sunday night chat. And the woman said, you sound like you're shallow. I guarantee you that woman weighs somewhere in the range of 180 to 260 pounds. Probably has multiple cats and, you know, not attractive. Because some of these women are just delusional. I don't, it's a crazy thing. We went through this thing where we would always say like, hey, the women have the thing that men want. And for eons, men have done things, gotten rich, gotten powerful, had cool stuff, dressed right, the cars, whatever, the money to attract women so that they can have sex. That's just the way it is, man. And the women are programmed to know that. That's where we got ourselves to be. And that is totally wrong. It's the wrong way to go about it. Because every woman thinks that... Here's the thing, ladies. There's a lot of guys out there that will sleep with anything. Marines, for the most part. Marines will fuck anything. You know, I said it in the video yesterday. If you want destroyed, killed, or pregnant, you call them Marines. But there's guys out there that will have sex with pretty much any woman. You know, it doesn't matter if you're a big lady, and some guys like that too, by the way. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're a chubby chaser, good for you. Those women need it, and they are very grateful. Those are some of the best times. It's not really what I'm into. But because women can get laid, very easy for them. If a woman wants to get laid, it doesn't matter really what she looks like too much. If she's putting it out there that she's willing to do it, she's going to get it. And so she's going to think, I got it going on because I can get that dick. That's what's going on in her mind. And that's, guys, start being a little bit more discerning, all right? Because we got a lot of women walking around that think they're the shit, and they ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? we got to start. We have to start leveling the playing field here. We got to start getting into reality a little bit about what the truth is about this. All right, I'm just saying. So it's not about being shallow. It's about being attracted to what you're attracted to. I'm going to give you a story. I'm sure I told this before, but if I haven't, this is a good one. There's a guy in town here in LA. I know him. He's a psychologist, and to the stars. And he's a very interesting cat. I don't want to say too much, but he's gay, and I don't care. I get along with gay people, and I'm totally myself, 100%, even with them. I even use terms that if I used them here, you'd try to cancel me to their face, and they're cool with it because they know I'm not an evil, maniacal jerk off. They know I'm not mean towards them. It's just how it is. I'm being myself. They respect it. And actually, this guy's, I'm sure he's a Democrat, but he's very conservative minded because he owns his own house. He's got his own business, and he's had businesses, and he invests in things, and he makes things. He understands how money works, how the economy works. So there was this time. This guy wants to, and forgive me for being crude, but I'm just putting it out there the way it is. He wants to suck my dick. He's wanted to suck my dick for decades. And he said it multiple times. And it grosses me the fuck out. It's disgusting. But whatever. I remember one time he's talking to me, and he says to me, he's trying to plant this seed, like he's trying to manipulate my brain. This has come from a psychologist, man. He's like, you know, it's normal to have gay fantasies. It's okay. And I said right at that moment, I said, well, no, it's okay for you because you're a homo. You know, he's like, he laughs. You're gay. I'm not. That's why I've never had any gay fantasies. So, because I've always been cool with him, he kept pushing the issue. And this went on for years and years and years. And I've done a lot of work for this guy. And several years ago, I did this really nice custom work, really intricate, built-in his house. I'm not going to get into that right now. It's a tangent, but it came out great. And I was in the house one day, and he just caught me on a bad day. I couldn't. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. He said something along the lines of wanting to go down on me, you know. And I said, dude, explain to me how that would work. And he's looking at me inquisitively. I said, you can't suck a limp dick. There's nothing about you that's going to make me hard, dude. So how the hell's that going to work? It can't work. Like that's right there is the definition of delusional. This guy thinks, and I will tell you a little bit about him because he was a Pan Am steward back in the 60s. And he used to tell me these stories. He traveled the world just having sex with men everywhere. That was it. He's still a good-looking man now. He's an old guy, but he's still in pretty good shape, good-looking guy. His partner is this like Rico Suave, you know, like Central American guy, older guy, really handsome. They both look like they could be models. And they got to be in their friggin' 70s at this point. Crazy. So he's had this crazy life of where like he could get whatever he wanted, you know, when it came to men. And so he thinks this about himself. And maybe he did have sex with some straight guys at some point or suck a straight guy's dick or something. I don't know. You know, I'm sure he told me that, but I don't know because I don't listen to it because it disgusts me. Like, again, do what you want. I'm not judging it. Me personally, it's disgusting. That's all. That doesn't mean I don't hate anybody. I don't hate gay people. I'm happy if you like men and you're living a lifestyle you want and you're not hurting anybody else and you're not forcing anybody into doing anything, and it's a mutual agreement and you're all having a good time, more power to you. Keep doing it. What I don't want you doing is trying to convince people into something that later they're going to regret, especially young people, young kids trying to tell them, oh, it's fine. Suck a dick. Give it a shot. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. You know what? You think you might want to try being a girl? Yeah. Hack your cock and balls off. No problem. Put a dress on. It's no problem. No big deal if you're 8 years old. Sure. Work itself out. That's the kind of shit I think is crazy. And I would vehemently fight against that. But if you're an adult, do whatever the hell you want, as long as you're not forcing anybody into it. No big deal to me. And if your proclivity is for the same sex to be in love with and marry and live with or whatever it is, more power to you. You find that person, go do it, you're happy, it's all that matters. Don't care. None of my business. None of my business who you're fucking. Don't care. How you're doing it, when you do it, who else you're doing it with, don't care. More power to you. Stop trying to make it so that everybody else has to be okay with your personal choices. Your personal choices, your personal lifestyle is none of my friggin' business. It's nobody else's business. Leave us the hell out of it, please. And with that, I'm ending this video. Maybe we're off the rails here. I'm just saying, you guys have a great night. Thanks for being here. Be kind to one another. Help each other out. Practice the act of kindness every day. I'll catch you in the next one. Why is this not working? It's video.
Because you put it on video.
Oh,